Good morning, everyone. Welcome to High Vibe Morning. And we already have a hello. What's up, Concha? How are you? You get first for today. Um, Let me see if I can tag some people over here. Is Facebook going to let me do it? No. Facebook. Why must you make everything so difficult? Why? Why Facebook? Wow, Facebook is definitely just being a little. All right. Well, Facebook doesn't want to cooperate. So what's up, everyone? Welcome to High Vibe Mornings, the one place on the internet where all we talk about is how to get happy in your personal life right now. That's right. I'm helping you enjoy your personal life and not worry about all the other stuff that's going on in the world. And then the second thing we help with is get happy, take your next step so that you can either get that relationship that you want, get that money that you want, get that love that you want, just manifest all the things that you want, and then build a plan so that you enjoy the journey to get there. Because what's the point of going on vacation if you feel like poo-poo the 3 months beforehand, you know? So this is the High Vibe Morning Show. If you're coming live, say hello. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, just drop a hey, watching the replay. It is so much more fun for me when I know people are getting value and benefit from it. So let's say hi to Karina. Let's say hi to Squish. Let's say hi to Valentina. Let's say hi to Brandon. Let's say hi to Leona, Soul Rebel. If there's some names I'm forgetting, guys, let's do that. And so we got Concha here. We got Alika in the house. What's up? Maybe Facebook wasn't meant to be. Maybe it wasn't. All right, guys. So let us get started. Let's see what Spirit's got for us today. If you want to meditate with me, go ahead and close your eyes, sinking, grounding into this current moment, calling all of your energy, all of your points of focus back on you. And when you breathe in, you're sinking into you and your energy. And when you breathe out, you're just exhaling other people's energies and their problems back to them. You breathe in, calling all of your energy back to you. Breathe out, releasing all others' worries back to them. Calling all of your energy back to you. Breathing out, releasing all others' energies back to them. Feeling yourself. Bring your point of focus into you and your own body. Feel that connection, that recalibration between you and your own inner being. It's a feeling in between your first and second chakra. Just feel that connection there. The human you is just deeply connecting to your inner being. Feeling that safety, that trust, and that reassurance that only your inner being can provide for you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sinking into the safety. Sinking into the safety of your body and of that connection to your inner being, making it a dominant point of your a dominant point of your attraction to have that deep connection to your own internal wisdom. Continue to breathe at your own pace, your own rhythm. And I'll go call Spirit in. You need to, but see the light. You're not as far from your manifestation as you think you are. Many of you are just feeling a little bit of despair because of well, how many shifts do I need? How many shifts do I need to get there? I need to get there now. So there's a little bit of time shortage consciousness in there. When we want to ask you, when there's a faucet that's off and you turn it a little bit and you let a drop in, you've got a drop. You're enjoying some of the goody good that you want. When you have another epiphany, you turn it another bit or two and you're enjoying more drops. Just like a baby first crawls, then kind of walks holding their parents' hands, and then walks, and then can walk upstairs. You're still getting what you want, which is walking, which is movement on your own. You'll get more money. You don't need to go from 0 to 10,000, because when you go from 0 to 500 and you're, wow, that felt good. It will be so much easier for you to go, hey, turning that faucet on is safe. Turning that faucet on feels good. Alika, for you, that's being willing to prioritize myself. Let me just turn it a little bit to experience a drop of it to see if I like it or not. I don't like it. I want to stay committed to this relationship and try it out and work it out longer. Or actually, that felt good. Let me just do a couple more drops. Let me just experience what it's like, because no matter what, you're getting more money. You're getting more self-love, more self-respect. Concha, your drop is, can I make it while being independent? And you're like, oh, I let the drop in. I got approved on my own. Let me pause. Oh, he's willing to negotiate on my behalf. Okay, that's why I like relationships. Maybe I can do it on my own though. What? I told the universe I would take it at 49. Not to give too many details. Kelly's reminding us not to give too many details. I told the universe I would take it at that rate, and they dropped it. So you have different ways of negotiating. You open it up, experienced another drop of independence. If you could but go, yes, I like it. So for many of you, this is about being willing to let that first drop or two in and then go, yes, I like it. It feels good. Yes, please give me more, universe. This is an issue of you guys being willing to identify what you like and being willing to allow yourself to expand into that glow of, I do like that. All that happened, younger in childhood, I want to do that. Can I get the ice cream and the pizza and this? And then your parents kind of, why do you want so much? You're greedy. So you got shamed for exuding what you liked and wanted. Now just turn the faucet on a little bit to give it a try. See what it feels like when you're an adult. See what it feels like when you're an adult. And allow yourself to enjoy that good, expanding feeling. You know what? It actually did. As much as he got upset, it felt really good to prioritize me and my needs. It felt so good to not be emotionally swayed by his emotions. He had to leave and walk around the block, blow off some steam. It felt good to not even be thinking about him and for me just to sink in and go, I did just need a glass of wine with my little one. This was a great evening. Oh, I'm so proud of myself for prioritizing me. If you guys would just but expand to allow yourself to enjoy that good feeling for that new growth you're going into, then you're at an empowered place to enjoy the bit by bit, 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops journey, the slower pace. That's up to you. This is your life experience. Or you go, you know what, this is good. Let's try. We never want to go from 0 to 1,000, guys, but you can go from 0 to 25%. To 50% to 75% to, all right, I'm in. Let's get this place booked out with cool roommates. There's nothing wrong with feeling a little tentative about who do I let in, who do I move, because you're not just manifesting paying roommates. You're manifesting ones who want some friendship. Some of the roommates are going to be light touch for you, while 2 of them will be closer touch. Some of them are going to be closer touch to you. Because you're letting people in kind of up close and personal, it's okay that you're doing it like drip by drip. So it's where you can make peace with where you're at. Kelly translates that as accept where you're at. I do feel this way. I do feel tentative about XYZ. So it's okay that I feel tentative and I still want to do another drop because you know what? Having I loved having the house to myself for a bit. It's a little big, it's a little eerie. It is kind of nice knowing that there's just someone else in the house. All right, can we do two more people? One person in the house was cool. That drip was cool. Get me another one. Okay, let me see if I want this to be a house that's full with roommates, or now that I have two in here, universe, can you give me an idea for like a good workshop to throw? Because it's just about monetizing that house. And then you could do the workshop and you could go, oh, none of the roommates are here. You know what? Of the 4 rooms I have available, I do want 3 booked out and I want to keep 1 reserved in case I want an office, in case I want another roommate, in case I want a guest bedroom that's just for me. This is my room, not the house's guest room. Let me get those 2 roommates and let me see what it's like to start servicing yoga clients here. All right, I want the 3rd roommate. Okay, you know what? If I ever guess, they can stay with me in my room. I want a house full of love, or it might be, yeah, 3's actually perfect. You guys are just turn the faucet on at a steady pace, but let yourself see if you like it so that you could find the right balance. It might be I want 3 roommates, I want 4 roommates. Alika, it might be you know what? I do want to stay with him. I'm just so glad now that I allowed in a friend. I'm really glad that I have this friendship. She's a really good friend. And my daughter loves her, and she loves my daughter. Or it might be I like all this independence, universe. I'm really sad and disappointed. The happy, happy, joy, joy family thing didn't work out for me the way I thought it would have. It looks like it's just going to be with a different man. I'll process those emotions, let him go. I don't want to deal with it anymore. It also might be yeah, I actually like him in my life. It's fun watching him grow. I'm just also really glad I allow in to see my friends twice a week. I really like that. Do you guys see how you're so close to what you want if you would just be willing to turn the faucet on because you could always turn it off? You are very safe the more calibrated you are to your own inner being. And with that, we open it up to questions from the audience. Whew. Whew. That was interesting. And I like how they kind of included a lot of you in the general at that time. We got, okay, Concha. Hey, Antoinette made it. What's up? What's up? Hey, Min made it. Oh, man, I don't have that ring on. Oh, I want to wear it. Oh, I was wearing it like all day yesterday and this morning. I don't know why I switched. Oh, I put it next to the shower and I didn't see it on my closet, on my dresser. That's why. Okay, so what's up, Antoinette? What's up, Min? What's up, guys? What's your questions on the general? How you doing, Alika and Concha, being called out so much in that general? And what are the questions, guys? Let's bump up this morning. And I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for coming. As much as that general today was about turning the faucet on, I have been slowly allowing my faucet to flow in terms of being my spiritual self, channeling, doing like a live show. And I truly appreciate this time frame where it was so small. And especially like everyone who came was just high vibe and so good to each other in the comments. And like Antoinette and Concha, you guys are definitely like the homies. And like, I get it. People have to work and stuff. So it's not a knock to anyone else. But like, I just want to say, Antoinette and Concha, I truly appreciated this time that we had with this show where I knew you guys would always be here. You guys are obviously getting something out of it too, you know, so I know it was mutual, but like, this was just such a beautiful phase. And I couldn't think of better people to like, maybe I want to start my business. Let me try it. And to like experience these drips that I have with you guys, I don't know. I just don't think I can express enough gratitude for that. And you guys choosing to spend your time this way too. Yes, thank you, Antoinette. I'm moving forward, but I feel a little sad and I missed the connection I shared with N. Okay, that makes sense. So anyone who has decided to like, okay, I've got to start looking for a new job. You've had that little bit of a, okay, this segment of my life is over. I need to start moving forward. And you're feeling that little bit of sadness for leaving the past behind, whether you've done the breakup, whether you've accepted the new job, or you're just at the, oh my God, this relationship is over. I've got to end it. Or, wow, I can't work here anymore. I need to start looking. This read's going to help. Of course you are. It was genuine, it was authentic. There were no ulterior motives, there were no shallow reasons to be together, there were no transactional reasons to be together. It was a true, honest, genuine connection. I liked him a lot. It sucked it didn't work out. I'm bummed that I knew on date one why it wouldn't work out, and I even shared it with him. Lo and behold, all this time later, that is why it didn't work out. I really do like that part of me that remains hopeful for people's growth and evolution. I think there's also a part of me, though, that's ready to get that youthful stage of my life where it was all about the next adventure. We'll all figure it out, we'll all make it. There's a part of me that, as much as I love watching people evolve and grow, and I like holding that higher image of them that they can do it, I think I'm ready to start experiencing people as they are, not who they will become. I'm ready to be in a relationship where how they currently come, even though I could see their areas of potential, how they currently come just satisfies my heart so much, tickles it fancy. Maybe that potential growth I see in them, maybe that will be a way that they decide to grow in the future. Maybe not, but I'm okay to let that be something that pans out and plays out on its own. I'm ready to be with someone where who they are just satisfies me. I'm ready to experience being in a relationship where vibe number 7 is the contentment. It's so satisfying waking up to this person. Guys, that's juicy, good feeling. You could get those highs and those lows relationships. Well, if they, when they're down here, if they could just get up there, I love that bliss. But guys, not every day is supposed to feel like Disneyland. Because if you go to Disneyland every single day, we guarantee you by day 7, you're going to be, all right, this is just another shop to go get lunch at. When Kelly was down in Florida visiting that Six Flags, she looked at the annual pass and she went, I wonder why that's as cheap as that is. If someone comes like 4 times, they got their money's worth. And so Kelly actually asked, she's like, so who are the people who buy that? That's so cheap for a year. They're like, oh, it's mainly just people who come here to eat at the restaurants for dinner. They don't want to cook. There's a lot of houses nearby. So it's just people who like want to eat dinner here. We get a lot of regulars. They're not experiencing the let's go on the ride, look at the character, look at the shops. They're like, oh yeah, let's go get dinner. Oh yeah, you like that restaurant there? All right, let's go. So we kind of got to sink that into your head. Many people view contentment as boring. That's why with Kelly, we're kind of using the translation of satisfied. Because when you're satisfied, that's when you're like, oh, that meal was so good. One more bite, I would have been too stuffed. One less bite, I would have been left wanting more. It was just the perfect amount. Oh my God, look at our view. Hold your hand. Let me hold your hands. They're just holding hands, enjoying the sunset. It was such a good night. That's what satisfied is, guys. That was such a good night. I truly enjoyed it. And it's even better when you don't need to verbalize it. It's just oh, that was such a good night. That was such a good way to spend time. I really like my life and where it's at and who I get to spend time with. And oh, goody, going to sleep to some cuddles. And you wake up and go, he's a good person to wake up to. I love waking up, watching him in the shower. It is just a sight and a delight. Mm. Aw, is he making breakfast? Satisfied is good, guys. We really want to sing. Satisfied is good. I'm ready to feel satisfied because satisfied is content, fulfilled, happy. I'm happy. Things are going well. Things are going good. Things are going in the direction I'd like them to be going in. I'm feeling better more of the time than not better. It feels good to feel good. So I feel satisfied. Is this starting to make sense, Concha? I might start going live on my business page, see if that works. All right, Concha, give me your questions, comments on that read. And anyone else, if that read impacted you for where you were at, as long as it's still focused on that read, go ahead and comment, guys. I'm a little curious where Antoinette's at. It was real. That read helped with something recently for me too. Oh yeah, man. What's your topic? Let's try to get you a read because how are you here? Are you on spring break or something? Let's get you a little read today. What did it help you with, men? Hey, and guys, when you're watching, are your eyes more drawn to my face? Or are your eyes more drawn to this shirt I'm wearing? It is making sense, but I also don't want to go on my own adventure. I enjoyed having a partner there with me. Okay, so that's lack consciousness. He was a really good partner. Going from yuck to good is really easy. It's easier. Like people in yuck are like, this is miserable, this is horrible. But it's easier to go from like yuck to good because it's like, holy shit, you are actually treating me so damn bad that like even if in the other pasture there's no one there, it's gonna be better. Even if in the other pasture there's no boyfriend but only girlfriends, that's gonna be better. When you're going from good, he's good, he spoils me, he treats me so well. Like I met him, he's a great guy. Going from good to thrive, it is hard. And then because sometimes there is that, we've all had those moments where it was like oh damn, that was a really good deal. I should have taken it. And so that creeps in that little bit of fear of, wait, what if I'm getting a good deal? And I say no, and then I live in regret again. That's why the whole just as we live, we stack up those hot stuff moments. So how much is it? Can you be authentic in the moment? Feel the emotions. I'm sad and disappointed I didn't accept that good deal. Oh, I'm sad I didn't even know it was a good deal at the time. Let those emotions out. I feel frustrated that I didn't know. I hate my starting point in life that some people would have seen that as the golden opportunity and I didn't. Well, I'd really like to let that go. And universe, I want another good deal like that. I now see the value of it. And I now want to experience that where I say yes and where I appreciate it and thoroughly enjoy it. So then there's what I really solidified is that I prefer having a partner. I prefer having a partner. I've learned enough to know not just any partner, not just someone who's willing to cuddle me and call me, not just someone who's willing to cuddle, call me, hang out, buy me things, be sweet, be nice, make my birthday special and amazing, and just be so loving. But I want that really good like kinship, that really good companionship, that flow. Part of me also does want an activity partner. I don't just want someone who says, yeah, I like that too. I want someone who's, what? I've been wanting to do that with someone. Let's go. I'm ready to be experiencing the day-to-day with someone. So it's just because you got the clarity that you like it being with a partner doesn't mean you have to make do with that one. He was so good. Yeah. Laugh out loud. What if I am getting a good deal? I wonder if I'll ever be able to accept someone and be happy. He was such a protector. Ooh, okay. So now we're at the vibration of doubt. Since no one else is commenting, I'm just going to keep focusing on Concha. I wonder if I'll ever be able to accept someone and be happy. I wonder if I'll ever be able to Min, I could see how this could help you too. I wonder how I could ever allow someone in and enjoy my autonomy and my queendom that I've built so well. Antoinette, I wonder if this was our last one on one. I wonder, universe, if there's a way that I can have a man in my life, a friend and a partner my age, someone who expands my kid's life, and we do the whole family thing together. And I still get to enjoy simplicity because you don't need to keep yourself there longer, right, Antoinette? Like you could go, while this phase lasts, I want to enjoy the simplicity and this or that. And then when you admit your preferences, I really do like simplicity, universe. I'm activating that vibe in me so that my next relationship also has simplicities. I've learned enough to know I don't want the really highs and the really lows. I want to reside mainly here and maybe dip a little bit, but we seem to get back in agreement quickly. Okay, so I wonder if I'll ever be able to accept someone to be happy. How we view that, Concha, is I feel frustrated that I've tried to make it work with so many people that I should have never tried to make it work with. I feel frustrated that I don't have that same sense of I'm young, I can figure it out. I could stay with this person a little bit longer. Who cares? I'm young. I still have time to figure it out. I feel a sense of frustration that I don't still have that sense of it's okay for me to be figuring it out. Oh, but I get it. I don't want to be figuring it out. I want to be enjoying. I get that all my previous attempts at relationships have been, well, let's see if it will work with him. Let's see if it will work with him. I've got time. Now it's wait, I know a lot of what doesn't work. Now I'm ready to get to know someone, spend at least a month, 2 months, 3 months building that connection, building that friendship, and just have this moment where I laugh and go, oh my God, it just works. It works. Like it works between us. It's just right. It's so easy. Like, yeah, you sometimes frustrate me, get under my, but gosh, it just works with you. The way we fight, it doesn't even feel low vibe. Like we're fighting, we're low vibe, but it doesn't even it feels like we're on the same team still. So this is really about, I was trying to make it work and I was viewing it as I have a heck of a lot of time. So I didn't care if it worked out or not. Now I recognize that I actually want a relationship that just works. So it's not about, can I ever be happy and ever be satisfied? No, this is about, I'm no longer going to try to bang it out with people to see if we can make it work. I'm now a vibrational match for where it works. I added so much good stuff into my vibrational vortex through all these years of living. My inner being knows everything I liked out of every relationship and everything that I will like in a future relationship and will bring it to me. And it knows everything I don't like, would send off rockets of desires for more of what I do like. And I'm now ready to experience the vortex version of my relationship. I don't need to build my vortex anymore. I'm just ready to enjoy. I like what I like. I know what I like. See where we're going with that? There it is. Absolutely. I had someone who reached out to me. I've not been able to say no, but I've had someone who reached out who I've not been able to say no to in the past. And this time I was able to let it go. And I feel quite proud of myself for it. And at the same time, I was sad that it ended. Oh, interesting. That's so interesting because, Min, every time I've talked to you and hung out with you, you're so good at saying no. Okay, so let's go for, actually the energy feels a little bit more with Concha. Let's go with Concha and then see what's up with Min. So let your energy move a little bit more, Min. Just kind of relax your body. And good job. If it's somebody you couldn't say no to and now you were, good job. Proud of you too, buddy. And then Antoinette's not commenting, so I assume that's who the third person is. Oh my God, it's already 11:30. Okay, let's go a little bit quicker. Concha, give me your next sentence comment because I do want to jump and read to Min. And Min will probably end the show. So if someone else wants a mini read today, that'd be a great time to smash that super chat button. But I will be live tomorrow. So no worries, guys. I don't think I need to read today. Okay. Yes, I tried to make it work in the past. And now I want to move forward with authentic, beautiful relationships. Okay, but hold on. See, Contra, this is definitely like a theme of yours that's been coming up in the masterminds. I'm ready to experience my true authentic self. I'm ready to experience true authentic conscious connection. Everything is authentic. Because let's go back to the phase where there's like all that inner children that we were like cleaning up, and like, oh my God, that wasn't really me. That was because of this traumatic memory. It gave me this bad thing. And it really made me pick this. In that moment when you were that kid, you looked at everything you had available to you. You made that connection you made that decision to make that your personality. Now that you're older and have some breathing room. So do you see how that was authentic? And that's all like life on earth is. It's coming down, seeing the board of game, society, the structures, the taxes, and going, yeah, I want to go play in that. And it's wherever you're at. Okay, well, this is the income I have. These are the friends I have. These are the decisions I can make and do. I would like to get to a point where I can make different decisions, where I can be more in control. So it always is who you are authentically at that moment. And it's okay if you decide to evolve, change, and grow. Sometimes that evolve, change, and grow, it means thinking the new thought until it becomes your new personality, the new result in your life. Sometimes it's, let me go clean up. I made this decision. Let me go figure out why I made it. Let me unwind it now and let me make a new decision. But it's still like all authentic. Like it's just in your energy right now, there's like regret of, oh my God, I haven't lived so much of my life in my authentic self. No, but like, when I was living at home in high school, I needed a boyfriend who provided protection from my mom. Once I felt stable and steady enough that I didn't need that protection anymore, it was, oh, I'm no longer attracted to him. That doesn't mean that wasn't my authentic self at the time of that relationship. And it's about making peace with the fact that you came down to be someone who came down to experience different types of life, right? And now, like, you came down to experience your life partner later in life. And yeah, this is all from them right now, Concha. And like, it's making peace with that fact, right? Because like, Concha, like what's coming to mind right now is someone gave me the analogy that like, Kelly, you came down to like live and experience all the different ways of living life. It's as if you were at a beach, and for a while there, you wanted to be the volleyball player. And then for a while there, you just wanted to be the girl dating a volleyball player. And then for a while, you wanted to see what's it like being the rollerblading girl. And then for a while, you wanted to see what's it like being the surfer girl. And then for a while, it's like, what about the girl who just comes and cleans up the beach? And then what about the girl who fights the injustices of the big corporations moving in and, dismantling the world? So what I can tell you, when I was in that fight phase of like, the corporations are bringing down America, I saw nothing but jobs where I was like the privileged white girl. And then the other people were like getting paid under the table and not even minimum wage. And once I went, I don't want to play this way anymore. I don't want to fight the injustice of the world for forever. I got out of it. And as my mind shift was shifting, I was like, guys, you can leave and get paid more over here. I know you're like undocumented or whatever. It's safe over here. There's other ones over here. And they're like, no, I don't want to. So it's like, they didn't want to play in that way. And then when I went over there, like, I didn't want to fight the injustice of the world. So people who came down to have that soulmate person from like high school to whole life, they came down to, I'm going to be a person who fights the injustice of the world. And that's who we want to be our whole life. We want to be the underdog fighting the big guy. I don't know, Concha, I got tired of that. I didn't want to do that anymore. And you want to know where I learned that lesson? It was with that guy that your ex hired, um, that guy, I think you remember who I'm talking about. He was kind of like, hey, I get why motherhood is so scary. It's the scariest thing you could go through. Your body's going through changes. You might be damaged. I get it. He's like, look, I can't provide a lot of money, but I have rent control. I've got a good room, 500 bucks a month. I'll put a baby in you. And I kind of looked at him. And because before that, I don't need a man with money. Money doesn't matter. Money doesn't buy happiness. And I looked at him and went, what do you want me to do? And I'm like 9 months pregnant. I have to waddle up some steps like that. Like I've heard women have a hard time walking up steps that last month. I'm just going to waddle up those steps and be like, I hope whatever president's in is giving good health care to like broke ass families. And I was like, universe, never mind. I like money. Money matters. But so do you see how that was still authentic? Because it was me being me. It was money doesn't matter. And I'm like, never mind. I discovered it does. I don't want to fight the injustices of the world. I just want to rendezvous with people who figured it out and made it work. I like being around professionals. I like being around productive people. I like being around type 8 people. I like achieving. I like being organized. I like being disciplined. It's that continual evolution of who you are. Right. And so now it was just like this whole, you've seen me, you've been with me for a long time. Crazy successful business. And then I winded it down. And now I'm like unwinding all the reasons why I winded it down. And a lot of that journey, sure, you can always do the path of let's clean up the inner children, let's clean up the old emotions, which I know the theoretical answer is just focus on what you want. But like, I've also received a lot of benefit from doing it that way too. Now that enough of that's cleared up though, now I'm realizing like, oh, this is literally just about the journey of embracing of the beach. I like being the palm reader. I like being the mystical, magical girl who calls in information that people need and want and like and are willing to pay for, that unseen information that only spirit and intuition can call in. I like being that girl who's, oh, you want a pay raise? You got to change this thought. And people always turn and look at me, especially people who aren't used to this kind of stuff, are like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Was that too much? Should I stay quiet or would you like to dive deeper? They're like, how did you know this? I'm like, I just hear it in the way that you speak. Like, it's this embracing. I like being her. I like being a city girl. I went and pranced around when I took that 5-year break from business. I went and pranced around in campgrounds, helping a man chop down trees and do bonfires every night to build out campground spots for himself. I was volunteering on commercial homestead. So it was more like the farmer's market size, not like huge and big. The only animals were like pigs and chickens and lambs. There were lambs there. Oh, and sheep. And ducks. No cows though. So it was just like a homestead, and I did that for years. And I was like, that was a lot of fun. That was peaceful. If you guys have ever just hung out with chickens all day and watched them, it's pretty entertaining. And it's a different life out there. Like, you are not regulated by a clock. You are more regulated by sun up and sun down. And every day is different. Sometimes the lawnmower breaks. Sometimes it rained overnight. So you got to get out there and mow the lawn before the campgrounds come. So they have a campground. Sometimes it's, oh crap, the fence broke. We got to make sure, someone's need to watch to make sure the pigs stay in. Someone else needs to go get the material. Let's get it fixed. And that could be your whole day. Like, it was crazy to experience that. And I always had this nostalgic, wouldn't it be nice? This nostalgic romantic idea of like, wouldn't it be so nice to live off the land, be in harmony and in nature? Because screw those big corporations who are just destroying the forests. When I was out there and I was getting bug bites and there were wolves and there were people out there who were not clean and sober. And I'm like, oh my God, there's 3 guys out here in the middle of the forest. I'm all alone. I see why these rural people want guns and machetes. I will never take away their gun rights. I see why you would want more than a handgun if you were living out here. It's incredibly hard not only is it incredibly hard to be self-sufficient, you can't. First off, you need at least like 4 to 6 families who are coming together to grow different crops, to grow different animals. And on top of that, getting seeds for plants is incredibly hard to do on your own, to separate the male from the female, to make sure, like one lady said, I did it on my own for 2 years and I thought, oh, I just need to like get it better. So I tried the third year again. I was separating the seeds. I was taking better care of them in storage. She's like, and only 30% would yield. But if I buy from Johnny seeds, if I go from Ace, this man, if I buy from Johnny seeds, they're good quality. It's like 10x the results on the produce. And I tried to not have any poop on my farm, but when I finally did mushroom compost, which is lamb poop, I got 10x just from buying the seeds, and I got 3x from using the lamb poop. Yeah, sometimes a water pipe would freeze, no water for a day. I remember we would have to turn the generator on. We would drag a hose down to the lake and the river. We would pump water into his tank, and then we had to filter it. Like, it was fucking crazy. And I had this moment where I was like, well, maybe that's not for me. I came back here. I wasn't fully decided. One of my farm friends said, hey, we're going out of town for 2 weeks. Do you want to come? We got the animals on feeders. We've got waters. Do you want to come and like house sit for us? And I thought about it and I was like, Spirit, I know I haven't been talking to you for years, but like, what would I get out of that? What would I learn? And they were like, you're just going to go out there. You'll enjoy being around the farms. You will feel pretty lonely because it's going to be you and the animals alone. And you're really going to line up with the fact that that country life isn't for you. And I was like, okay, I don't need to experience that. City life for me. I'm a city girl. Big bad corporations. I guess a few of you are definitely evil. Maybe not all of you are evil. I'm a city girl, Yep, that's how I grew up. Sometimes I can't live off the land. Yeah, I don't know. But do you see, Concha, how that was still me, authentically being me? I wanted to explore. I wanted to experience. And I remember after I broke up with my second boyfriend, people were like, don't you want to get married? I'm like, no, because I was such an innocent, protected, sheltered kid. And all the men were like, no, we like you. You're so innocent and pure. And I'm like, but that's why I think I need to go get some life experience so I can know if you're being good to me or not, because I can't even tell that difference right now. I'm just assuming everyone has good intent. In hindsight, now that I've got experience, I'm like, damn, those were actually really good men. But now I have that confidence, that knowing. And I was like, no, I want to experience life. And I remember the Rocket of Desire. I was walking in San Francisco, the mission. And I went, universe, I want to experience everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the playboys. Whereas before that, I was only getting men who wanted grandpa's little princess, daddy's little good girl, wifey behavior treatment. And like, no, I've been preparing for wife for a long time. Your monthly stipend would be $5,000 to spend on whatever you want. I'll still take care of the family and all the family's bills. But that's just for you to spoil yourself and whatever you want. Like literally just for you. If you end up spending any of that on the household, you tell me and I'll figure out how to make more money so we have more grocery money. Like, and I just remember going, universe, that just sounds like too good of a life. I want to experience all of life. Well, I've done it now. I did the campground. I did the farmer. I never had a hoe phase. My body count isn't that high. It was never about partying and sex for me, but it was more, I want to experience all the different ways you can live life down here. So there was a time period where I was just like friends with a bunch of those butch type lesbians. And I was like, nope, not for me. I never it wasn't about sex, guys. So I never did anything sexual with them. But I was like, what is their life like? Ooh, what's this life? The guy being a cross-dresser, what's his life like? And I'm like, you know what? It's a little funny that I've kind of come full terms and went, you know what? I like the city life. I like professionals. I like that achievement. I like achieving. I do like it where I just get to sit back in my feminine energy, and I do like a man who can financially provide, but I also do want the type of relationship where I'm bringing something financially to the table too, because I want that we story. So do you see how I had this? I had to go all through all this experience, and I came back not quite to here, but to here. I like those men. And I still somehow want a story where it's like, this is the life that we created and crafted. And I do want that experience where it's like, let me throw down some money so both of us could say we bought this house. I may then end up stop working and just be the stay-at-home wife. I also may not, because I like doing this, But I at least want to be able to throw down for the house and be like, yeah, we bought this. Yeah, your dad does take good care of me now. that I get to see how I feel when I'm later, you know? But that was still authentically me, and it moved the needle over just a little bit, and I'm like, "You know what? This is the sweet spot. This is the good stuff." And I just had a conversation with someone yesterday where they were a spiritual person too, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, I changed my business the way I run it, um, and I got the wife, so I'm doing the wifey thing." And it was a pretty much like I get clients, I make money, but I don't have the like it. She was not the main financial provider. She's like, "No, it's so nice. I do have." She's like, "I don't work that much. I'm definitely not hustling. I'm not making as much as I used to, but it's so nice. Just readings pop in and they come in. I would like to expand and make more money, but like my money is just it's a nice to have. It's a, ooh, I made this much. What should we do with it?" And I went, "Wow, that sounds nice." And she said, "But I do have to do a lot of wifing. I'm not working as much and making a lot of money. I do a lot of wifing. Like I'm a wife and I do a lot of wifing." And it kind of like gave me that permission that it's like, Kelly, you can like running your business. You could be running a crazy lucrative business when you meet your guy and also transition into more of a wife, and your money's just nice to have. You might like the life. Like what was that? Cheryl Sandberg. And oh, who did she marry? They were two big Silicon Valley people, like COOs of Facebook and CEO of Amazon or whatever. Like I don't remember who she married, but they were like, "Nope, this is how we run our life. This is how we make it work. This is how we get lots of time with our kids, and this is also how we like run our businesses." Right? I may want to keep that up, but no matter whoever the universe, like I don't need to have that solidified to be in the relationship where I could go either path and it just works. Like I think that's like one pressure I want to like take off of you, and you too, Antoinette, and men, you too. I feel this in all of your energies, but it's a let go of having to make that crystal clear recipe, right? Because I told you the story when I was younger, and I went, "Universe, I just want to experience life. I want to experience it all. I want to quit being this daddy's little princess, sheltered girl who's so innocent." You know, like just I had a guy, I was working at Jack in the Box, and I was like, "Man, I need more money. I need more hours." And he goes, "Oh, let me like I can lick your beaver and I'll pay you." And I looked at him and I was like, "But I don't have a beaver." And he's like, "No, your beaver." And I was like, "I don't have a beaver. What do you like?" And I was like, "So you're telling me you want me to go get a beaver, bring it in, give it to you, you'll lick it." "You'll lick it and you'll give me money." And he went, "Well, not a beaver, your beaver." And I was like, "But I don't have one." And then he kind of like looked down with his eyes. And this is when other coworkers were like, "Kelly, come on now." And I was like, "Well, do you have a beaver that I could go get and bring back for him to lick?" Oh, that was a funny story. I used to be innocent as fuck, guys. That's why people were marrying me. I'm like, "No, I need to experience life." Okay, so check it out though. This is gonna be a good one for you guys. I was thinking of making a YouTube video about this topic. Yeah, that's a fucking crazy wild story, man. Um, it was like 2 fucking days later when I figured out what he was talking about. And I think because I was going to like, "Hey, do you know what a beaver is and why someone would want to lick it?" Like, why would someone just like doing that? Like, I was going around school, family asking that, and they would just all, no one wanted to break my innocence, you know? And I'd be like, "Well, what is it? What is it?" And like, I think might have been my dad. I don't remember. "Kelly, you saw that. That's a nickname for that down there." And I was like, "Well, why would someone want to lick that? I pee out of there." Ugh. Crazy shit, man. Um, okay, wait, where do we go from here? Um, oh, all of that. I told you the story where it was like, I just want to experience life. Give me all the contrast, universe. I fucking manifested that. But it was because when I had a good man in front of me, I wanted to know it was a good man and be able to thoroughly appreciate him, not just be that, oh, thank you for taking care of this. Oh, thank you. Like I want to know you are a good man. I appreciate you. Thank you for treating me so well, and like all this contrast was needed for me to get there. And what I realized recently is that there's contrast and there's expansion. Contrast is when you're dating the toxic mother effer. Contrast is when you're getting the job who, we don't need you 5 hours this week. Go home early. Oh crap, how am I going to pay my job? That's contrast. In expansion, there's always contrast, meaning uncomfort, discomfort. When a snake sheds its skin, it that doesn't feel good. It's like, oh, my skin's so tight. Oh, it just needs to come off. Ooh, it's starting to shed. Oh, now I got this stuff that's so itchy on my body. And then when it sheds that layer off, like that skin is raw as it moves on the dirt. It's like what's that uncomfortable feeling of rawness on my skin? Oh, right. So as you just expand and grow to becoming the woman who rents a house and just wants it paid for versus a woman who now runs a house where there's some good community with it, there's expansion in that because it's requiring a different version of you to show up who's more grounded, who's more time conscious, who's more, I make a mess, I clean, like, well, you weren't ever like that. You always clean up after yourself, but you have to be more aware of the other people because now you're willing to share space with them. There's growth in that because there are going to be some conversations, like you and I, when I was there, I was kind of like sometimes it was oh, hold on, maybe I need to be the one taking care of her. But there was also a point where I remember going, you know what? Like, she needs to figure that out. And there were some moments too where you're like, let me take care of Kelly. And there were some moments where it was like, you know what? Kelly's got to figure that out. That's expansion. We both had the desire to make it work, right? We're both manifesting the same thing. So we weren't doing toxic shit of, you know what, just get out. If you're not happy, Kelly, get out. Like, you know what, Concha, if you don't like that, I'm just going to leave. Like, none of us did that. We're not doing the contrast shit anymore. We were setting up rocks desires for lifelong relationships, for good community, for a good friend, for love, So now I realize, you know what, Kelly, a man who can financially provide, there's going to be contrast in life. So it's not like it's going to be happy, happy, joy, joy, boring, just all good, happy shit. Like when a baby's puking on you, that doesn't feel good. You could either do that with a toxic man, and by toxic, someone who doesn't know how to connect, or you could do that with a man who knows how to connect and go, oh, babe, let me go get the cloth for you. Oh, you poor thing. I could either do that with a broke man who's fighting the injustice of the world and how unfair it is, or I could do it with a man who loves his profession, who loves his career, and who loves nice houses. I could do it in a bedroom, renting a room out from someone, and I have to waddle upstairs. Or I could do it with a man who's, let's get you the best doula ever. Let's ask your friend Concha if she'll stay here and we'll take care of her too. What's her bills for the month? What would she make if she was working that month? Why don't we just pay her this month? Because there's still contrast, there's still expansion in giving birth. There's expansion. Like, does that make sense, Concha? It's just a lot of you are leaning over into the, I get it, life itself, growing and evolving, is getting to know a new version of you. And there are uncomfortable feelings in that you work with long enough to make it become comfortable. And let me get off Instagram. My phone's dying. And Facebook, I'm going to go say bye to you. It looks like no one came live on Facebook. Okay, bye, Facebook. Okay, that's off. Yeah, that beavers. Should I title this something like High Vibe Mornings Beaver Story? Or like, should I just let this become a dark, hidden secret on the internet? Are you guys got any questions, comments on that? A lot of you are just sinking into the, I don't need to make it harder to grow because God, I got other stories like that too. When I was a little girl, I always wanted, like, Humvees. Well, like they're also called Hummers. Apparently, I don't talk too sexual because I know YouTube doesn't like that. Apparently, there's a sexual act that's also a slang term for too, but I didn't know that. So I had just like fishing out with my boyfriend. His older cousin was giving me a ride home, and there was like a Humvee there, and I was like, "Oh, a black Hummer! I always wanted one of those." And he just starts laughing hysterically, and I was like, "What? I like black Hummers." And he was like, "What? What? Oh my God! I'm not gonna tell John this." I'm like, "No, John knows I want one." And that guy starts roaring with laughter, and I was just like, "What? What's so wrong with these?" Like, "Well, what do you like about them?" "Oh, I just like how big they are. I like how sturdy they are. I like how safe I feel like in them." And then he's like, "Oh my God, like your boyfriend isn't gonna take this that well. I'm not gonna tell him." I'm like, "No, he knows I want a big black Hummer." And he's just losing it. And at this point, I like look at him like he's crazy. I'm like, "Bro," and then I pointed at the car on the street. I was like, "Bro, I want a black Hummer like that one, but I want in bright pink on the side, Barbie with an attitude, so they know it's a girl driving it." And then he went, "Oh my God, thank God. I was almost going to make you start walking because I thought you wanted to cheat on my little cousin." And I was like, "It's a car. How is that cheating? He's going to be in the car with me." Um, okay, so it's just embracing how you prefer to live life, and you like a conscious community. You like a conscious community. Antoinette, you want family, and you're now ready to experience. It's not you. We don't need contrast to make it fun. In expansion, it's going to be fun. Learning how to you already know how to take a family trip with you and live. You already know how to take a trip with yourself. Like you could let this when you're coming out to visit me, this can I'm not gonna do it, Antoinette, but that's funny as fuck. I am glad I clicked live chat replay so people stumble upon this. If they're just like, "Universe, I need your guidance and I just need a good laugh to release some stress," the universe is going to guide them to this episode. If you are watching the replay and you got this far in it, you all better comment something like to let me know that you got this far. I don't know if you want to comment licking beavers and black Hummers. I don't know, man. Okay. I feel like there's one last thing to talk about that you two need. Is the time okay, guys? Because if you guys are going to log off, let me know because I'll save my breath. But if you two have time, I'll finish this story. Hi, Chris. You're new, Chris, so welcome. The show is High Vibe Mornings. I do it Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. It's normally only 30 minutes. Today's just kind of like a little interesting. I start the show with a general channel message from Spirit, and then I dive into free mini reads for people for 30 minutes. So if you want a free mini read, come back tomorrow. We're kind of finishing up a story for the people who are already here. Or if you guys want a mini read, you can super chat $20 because I always do 30 minutes for free after the 30-minute mark. If you want a mini reading or a tarot read from Spirit, after the 30 minutes, that's when I request and encourage super chat in the amount of 20 for your personal reading. Okay, so Antoinette's still here. Okay, so Antoinette, to finish up that story, it's this knowing that growth happens with contrast involved. But we don't need to activate growing through contrast. Expansion alone has contrast. Like, you're a mom, you raise kids, when kids are like somewhere around 1 and 2 and they're in the up and down phase. They want you to pick them up. You pick them up and they're like, "No, I want to get down and run around." And they're like, "Wait, I miss being held all the time." It's up, down, up, down. That's expansion, which has contrast. I don't know what I want. I want to be up in mom's arms. When I'm up in mom's arms, I want to be running around playing. Right. And then I remember, when I was watching a little kid, she just loved turning the faucet on and off and goes on, off. But after like a while, I was like, "Girl, I looked at her, and I put my hand on it firmly and closed it, and she started screaming because there are 2 or 3. Started screaming, hits my hand, and goes, "No, on!" And I just looked at her and went, "You're old enough to know better, and you're old enough to do better. You're old enough to do something new. I'm not celebrating something that you already know how to do for 3 months now. I'm celebrating something new with you. So figure it out." And she just like looked at me with the evilest eyes and she said, "Mm." And I went, "I'm sorry, girl. You can do more than this. Let's celebrate something new." And then she just kind of gave me an eye roll and went, let out a tear, and I went, "Okay, fine." And then she started like figuring out what else she could do. And like, "Kelly, look." And I'm like, "Yeah, we can do that now." Right? Anytime you expand to a new level of consciousness, a new way of joining, there's natural contrast in it. So it's just, I'm okay with the relationship area of my life being calm, stable, steady. Of course, there will be upsets that happen. Of course, there will be, "Wait, when you said that, I thought you meant this." Of course, that will happen. Of course. But it's okay to have a partner who knows how to hold on, we're in conflict. Let's repair. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Repeat back to me what you heard. This is what I heard. How were you thinking the evening was going to go? This is how I'm thinking the evening was going to go. Okay, great. And then you don't need to have that kind of conversation again for 3-4 months because you guys are just so good. So it's the contrast in your life doesn't need to come from relationships anymore. It's now going to come from expansion in other ways. And you growing from learning how to take trips by yourself to taking trips with your daughter to taking trips with someone else, there is going to be, even like when I was visiting Concha, she likes to be out and about all day. She likes to get outside and walk at the minimum, if not go out and be out. And I'm fine with chilling at home for a good half the day. It's like, our yoga class isn't until 4. Why the fuck are we going to get out of the house at 9 a.m.? you know? Um, and there wasn't one where it was like, "Oh, Kelly, like, she likes living her life that way. Like, you got to start getting up earlier and get out of the house." But then it was also, okay, I can do this some days, but not all days. And so then there was another day where she was like, "Kelly, what the heck? We're supposed to be gone at like 8 a.m. It's like 2 p.m. and we're not even leaving yet." And I kind of had a moment where I'm like, okay, shit, she's right. But there was like a fuck up. I didn't like, I was traveling, so I only had limited number of clothes and my clothes were dirty. I needed to wash them. Um, and I waited till the morning, but I got up late and I didn't feel a sense of urgency from her. So I started being lackadaisical. And then like when I hit start on the dryer, it didn't start. So when I went back down there, I was like, "Oh my God, my clothes aren't dry." But then there was also like, I'm also fine with being at home. So there was a hold on. I was like, we had to talk about that. That was expansion. It wasn't contrast because we were both like, well, I think I don't want to speak for Concha, but I'm sure there was probably something like you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. There was a little bit of like, hey, some of this was out of my control. And some of it was I actually didn't mind sitting my ass at home. So there was just like conversation to like, "Concha, what I need from you is I need a little bit of a, Kelly, this is what time we need to leave by." Because then I snap too and go, "Okay, I've got 2 hours. What all do I got to get done?" Boom. And I start doing it. Like that's expansion. We had to figure out how to expand so the relationship and sharing a close quarters could work for both of us. And then like, I think it was like the next day where Concha was like, "Okay, Kelly, I just want to let you know, this is a plan I made for us later today. So we need to leave by this time." And I was like, "Perfect. I need to do this, this, and this." She's like, "Okay, I'm just going to let you go do it." And I know I need to get out of the house. So I'm going to go on a walk where you take care of and do all that. And then I think it was like maybe the next day after that, where like I woke up, she was out, she left me a sweet little note. It was just, "Hey, I went out on a walk. I'm gonna be out for a while. I'll come back after your show, but I figured you could have the morning." And I woke up and I went, "You know what? I actually do like waking up in the mornings to get my meditation on, to do my high vibe show, and to make whatever YouTube video I'm gonna make." That's expansion. And there was uncomfortable feeling. There was Kelly trying to sabotage this or something? I don't know what was going on in her head. So I'm not trying to speak for her. Anyone could see how, like, if you're like, "Kelly, we made plans to get out the door in the morning, Kelly. Were you trying to like," and I was like, "No, I wasn't. Look, the dryer didn't start. I'm so sorry." So we don't need to manifest contrast to grow. we like growth, and in growth there's expansion, which has comfort in it. All right, I hope that helps you guys. Love you lots. And I just want to say, Antoinette and Concha, this has been an incredibly fun and intimate time having you two as like the main two homies holding down this show. This is like truly a moment in my life where I'm going to remember you guys and remember this time. Because this was a good phase. This was like such a good phase in my life. And I would not have told these stories if there was 20, 100, 1,000 people watching, you know. I'm a little curious if we're going to get any comments of, I watched that shit to the end, you licking beaver black Hummer. I'm curious, man. Oh, I just thought, what expansion can I experience with a man in my life? Well, I hope that makes sense now. You and Liv are going to get a groove for traveling together. And then for him, it might be a, wait, what? We don't stop and get coffee at the airport? No. I always do a 2-hour layover so I can get a cup of coffee and enjoy it. And you're like, no, we on the move. We want the shortest layover because we got to get to the place and go there. That's expansion for he's like, it might be for him. Because I definitely had a moment with Concha where I went, you know what? For some of these things, it was, I need to expand. I need to grow. I need to take care of her on this. And some of it was kind of like I didn't even say it to her. It was energetic. I was like, you know what? Like, girl, I like that you're getting me out of the house way more. I really do. I can't do it every day though. So if you need to be out of the house, sounds like you need to get out on walks right away. I just thought that energetically, not even energetic. I just had a thought in my head. I was like, I can't wake up and go walk every single day. Like sometimes I like to start my day by meditating and doing high vibe mornings. And so it's a mix. Some days I'm going to do it her way. Some days I'm going to do it my way. So like that's natural expansion. Yeah, you guys got it. All right, guys, love you lots. That was a long show. I just want to say it one more time, Antoinette and Concha. This was such a beautiful time, just like hanging out with you guys as I like turned the faucet on to, do I like doing a spiritual business? I couldn't have asked for two cooler people to like to do that with, to test it. And I like it. I want it, and I want more of it. Yeah, you got it, Antoinette. All right, lots of love. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye, guys.